You too, Storm. So, this is going to be a little bit different than the previous videos. Because, first and foremost, I've been playing Storm a lot, even before she got buffed. Because I honestly kind of enjoyed the character, and in a lot of games, I like playing characters that other people don't typically play. I get bored of meta characters. You know, I had games where you jump in as an Iron Fist and then you just do the Iron Fist thing and everybody yells at you in game chat, and it's just not, those things just aren't as appealing to me personally as playing characters that don't typically get played. However, Storm got buffed. Now you see her more. In Season 1, me and my friend have been playing to get our ranks higher, and we grinded up. I think I'm Gold 2 now since him and I started playing. And I've been playing a lot of Storm because it's ranked. Like, you're just trying to win. And she's kind of busted. But this video is going to be a little bit different because I could sit here and explain to you damage fall off and, you know, numbers and statistics and all these things. But that stuff's boring. Let's be real. It's boring. And in most games that you're playing, you're not sitting there in the match thinking about, oh, I have to be in this exact specific numbered range to get this exact specific damage, and the mitigation, yeah, no. You're not actually thinking that. You're turning your brain off most of the time, and you're just playing the game. And if you are thinking because you're playing ranked instead of quick match, if you're in quick match, like, I turn my brain off, I just play, you get 20, 30 kills, and then you move on with your day. In ranked, you focus, right? But even then, you're not sitting there thinking about specific numbers the whole time. You're thinking about the plays you're making and where your positioning is and what you're doing. So, Storm's kit, you know, you can see here I'm getting assists just from being here. But, you know, her kit is pretty simple, right? You have your basic attack, which they sped up, which was part of her buff, right? If we go into her kit here, it's the Wind Blades. Your left shift is your weather control, so switch the weather to empower allies. Your Tornado one grants a movement boost, and Thunder grants damage boost, right? Now that's obviously pretty important. Goddess boost is with your E, and channel the power of the weather to empower Storm. Tornado grants a movement boost and inflicts slow on enemies. Thunder grants a damage boost and summons lightning to inflict damage, right? So, that'll be important for you to know because a lot of people ignore the Tornado and they only stick with Thunder. And then your Bolt Rush is your right click, which is unleash a lightning bolt forward. And then if you have a Thor on your team, you get, you know, a third ability, which is the electrifying enhancement. Storm can unleash a lightning barrage with an electrifying enhancement. Captain America gains the movement boost, blah, 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 blah. Alright? So, when you are playing Storm, when this logo in the middle is the little swirl that you see here, that's your Tornado one, that's the speed, movement boost, and when you activate your E, you'll slow enemies that are within the range. So if somebody's trying to run away from you, or run away from a teammate, and they're within the range of it, you can slow them down, help them. Honestly, most of the time, if they're that close anyways, just do the extra damage. Like, you know, don't think about these like high-level plays if you're not, you know, diamond and above. You don't really need to worry about that. But the thing that most people do wrong with Storm is that they play her like Iron Man. Now, Storm does have a damage fall off past a certain point. So if you're playing like Iron Man, right, and you're like, let's see how far away I can get, and you're like all the way over here, and you're firing down, right, from these distances, you actually are doing a little bit of less damage. But the bigger reason why you actually should not be playing Storm like that is because the higher up you go, well, you can't really see it here. Okay, you can see it here. The higher up you go, the smaller your AoE is from your team, right? So you can see as I come down lower, see that? When I fly up, it's smaller, and when I get closer, it gets wider. You want your team inside of that. Now, the other thing that is the reason you actually want to be on the ground with your team most of the time with Storm is because when you're up and you're firing down at one person, yeah, sure, you're doing damage, you're hitting that one person. But if they're a good team and they're grouped, you see how you fire through people? and you do damage to more than one enemy, her abilities cleave through. So you should actually be doing far more damage with Storm than most people end up with when you see them play Storm and they have the end of the game damage numbers. They should be doing far higher numbers than they're getting because they should be shooting through people. On top of, you know, when you have your team around and then, you know, you're boom, and then you come in on somebody and you're doing the extra damage with, see how that Thunderbolt came down, just made it even quicker for you to get a kill, right? You see that? This is, you know, more ideal positioning for Storm. And this is coming from somebody who's consistently, you know, winning with her. She's not hard to play. She's really not. She's kind of broken, dude. Like, you can be a bad player, and as long as you just stay with your team, stay with your tank, behind your tank, don't be one of those people that dives forward greedily trying to get kills. Stay, you know, close enough that your healer can actually mind you and the other DPS on the team. But when you're thinking about your positioning, if you're just out the whole game flying up in the air like Iron Man, and you're doing this, right? Most people, when they're doing this, if you actually watch them, this is what they're doing. And then they're reloading, and then they're just doing... And now, mind you, that's how a lot of people are aiming with Storm on a stationary target. The people you're actually shooting at are not staying still. They're going, they're strafing. Most people in lower lobbies, this is what their aiming looks like when you watch them. There's a reason that, like, getting to gold 3 tells you that you're ranked higher than, like, 85% of players. It's because most people are not even really aiming that well, especially on controller, right? Now, you know, I'm a PC player, so I'm kind of biased about keyboard and mouse over controller, but you should not really be spending your game away from your team up in the air like Iron Man, especially because of what you do for your team. And then the last thing, obviously, is her ultimate, which, you know, right? If you've seen it, if you've died to it, it's crazy. It's good. The last thing I'll say is please, 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 if you're going to play Storm, stop ulting on a Luna ult. You are not going to do any damage. If I keep seeing Storm players use their ult when Luna's ult is up, I'm going to punch a hole through my monitor. On top of that, please, for the love of God, if you're playing Storm and you don't know if Luna has used her ult yet, think of one of two things. One, is this a good time to use my ult to force the other team to use their defensive ults, aka force Luna to use her ult, so then it's on your timing and not when she actually needs it for the team, more importantly? Or can you play for a minute and see if she uses it, wait for hers to end, and then use your Storm ult? But if you were one of those people that you get your Storm ult and Luna clearly has hers up, and you dive on top of her with your ultimate, and then you waste everybody's time because you did no damage, then you're really pissing your team off. And I got a little passionate there because I've been dealing with that, because me and my buddy have only had time to get up to gold so far for Season 1. We're gonna get higher, but, you know, people have lives, and I'm not gonna solo queue ranked personally. If you are solo queuing, I'm really sorry for you. I hope you can find some people to play with, because it's so much easier winning consistently when you have literally just one friend you can play with who also knows how to flex pick into healers. But I wanted to make this video a little bit differently because most people are simply just playing Storm wrong. And she's not hard. She does most of the killing for you. It's really not that complicated. But most people, because of her flying, they utilize it as a combat position instead of staying with the team, boosting your team with your AoEs, racking up these assists. Look, like 17 assists just from being around these people, like around the bots. and then they waste their ult on just the worst timing and positioning ever. And your ult is so good at getting behind the enemy team. Like, look, like if you ult here, let's say the enemy team's up there. Look how far you can move on that ult. You can cover a really good distance on that ult and get yourself to a position. Like, let's say I want to get down, like I ult and I'm like moving through the map. Look how much time, look how much distance and time I have to not have to ult right next to the enemy team. You don't need to be 5 feet away to initiate your ult, scare the enemy team away, and have them scatter and then only get 1 or 2 kills. If the team's all the way out there, right, stay back. Don't let them see you get into it so that they're like, hey, where's Storm? She kind of backed out. Where'd she go? What's going on? Boom. Pop up. Start getting some kills. Where did he go? Oh, I thought he was underneath. Anyways, that's all I really have for you guys. It's more so a video on positioning rather than combos. Like, yeah, she has combos, but I'm not here to go over combos right now for Storm, because I think it's more important for this character that people start to learn that there's so many better ways to just position her and play her for the team rather than just running around by yourself, not getting as much done. Especially from a distance, right? On some maps, you know, you can stay back a bit and just fire off through the enemy team's line. And then, you know, especially when you're chasing somebody down. And if you need to use your flight to escape, especially if you're E up, right? Like, let's say you get dove, like you're down here with the team, tank dies, healer's getting dove, it's horrible. Instead of staying there and, like, dying, you want to regroup with your tank, you want to regroup with your team so that you all push together. So you shift, E, and then you just move a lot faster. Watch my movement speed, ready? Look how much slower I'm going. And then even with the base, right? So I'll go back into the Thunder. Right? This is my speed. It's a little bit quicker, even when you don't have your E up. But once you have your E up, right, you'll move a lot faster, so you can just fly up over a building, try to get out of the way a little bit. Sure, you might still die, but like at least you're with your team, giving them the damage boosts in this mode and doing a lot more damage yourself. I was only going to talk for 5 minutes, and now this video is 13 minutes long, so I'm going to stop it here. But if you guys would like to see a Storm combo guide, leave a comment, and I can get around to that. But this video is more so going to be probably titled, You're Playing Storm Wrong. But yeah, I love you guys. Peace out. I'll see you in the next one.